Hi, Shannon and Dr. Tarbox. Thank you for your show. I have a non-verbal 5-year-old. I have to do all her self-care tasks for her. Examples, dressing, feeding, teeth brushing. I'd like her to start participating in dressing and undressing first. Where should I start with that? Right now she doesn't help at all, and thank you so much. Great question.
Great question. Fantastic question. And I love these questions because this is the kind of sort of like bread and butter, nuts and bolts question that really any parent can relate to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely reasonable to expect your nonverbal 5-year-old to start helping out with dressing and undressing and other self-care tasks. That's totally within the range of teachable skills that we address with all of our clients, no matter how or little affected they are on the spectrum, no matter how challenged they are. Folks can definitely learn self-care skills. Some folks are going to learn them faster than others, but all kids are capable of learning. So now's a great time to start, right? Why not? So the method that we usually use to teach these skills is called chaining or a task analysis. I'm sure you've covered those jargon terms at some point in your program, but basically what it means is you break down the complicated self-care task into small teachable steps. You teach one step at a time. You use prompting, which means you use some kind of help, usually some kind of physical help to get the child to do it, and then you use a big reinforcer, some kind of big reward when they make that little bit of progress. You're looking for that little baby step towards independence. You reinforce the heck out of it, and then next time or the next week you look for just a little bit more independence. And honestly, it takes a really long time, and it's not easy. It kind of is rocket science, actually, to get these kids to be able to get do these skills independently, but it's totally doable. Now, that being said, for you to now just go out and do it tomorrow is going to be pretty hard. You can definitely read some books. There's books and manuals available that describe this stuff. I'm sure IBT must have a module on chaining and shaping.
Absolutely.
That would be worth watching and taking a look at. But honestly, it's probably worth having a professional teach you at least the first time. So for example, maybe you have a professional, a BCBA, come and train you on how to get your daughter just to do something simple like put on pants or put on a shirt, and then the basic skills that you learn to teach your daughter, then you generalize those skills across whatever other self-care tasks there are. So the basic skills that you need to do chaining successfully, it's not actually that hard to then use those for brushing teeth, washing hands, washing face, and lots of other self-care tasks once you get good at it with one or two skills.
And I highly recommend the training from IBT on chaining. My son had been having therapy for 4 years before I looked at any of those trainings. He might have even been done by the time I watched the one on chaining. And I had watched them work through a bunch of things with my son, and I always just say, if we're going to start something new, have them start it and then teach me how to do it, and I'll pick it up. And that's the best possible way, as you were saying, to do it. But when I watched the video on chaining, light bulbs went off, and I went, oh my gosh. And it affected how I do things now. And I think it is so worthwhile for a parent to learn this. And the example that they used in the video was teaching how to put on a shirt.
There you go.
And they went through the whole task analysis of it. And it was such a light bulb moment for me that I called a friend of mine and I said, oh my gosh, I learned this thing today, and I was going through, and I said, because I would never have thought about the fact that, they go through the task analysis of laying the shirt out on the bed, and then scrunching up the shirt to the neck, and then putting it over the head, and then putting one arm at a time. And I said, I would never have thought about the scrunch up. And the person said, hold on a second, I gotta go get a pen. This was a parent of a child who's not on the spectrum. And I said, what just happened? And she said, I've been trying to teach my very typical 4-year-old how to do this, and that's the step I was missing.
Right, yeah.
And I said, okay, part of the problem for us as parents is that, we have never done a task analysis before.
Right.
And so we will forget a step, which is why it's important to be working with a professional or on skills. And a lot of these tasks, they've already done the task analysis for us.
Oh, all of the tasks. So yeah, that's another thing to mention is basically every conceivable self-care task that a child on the spectrum might need to learn. The experts developing skills have spent countless hours obsessing over every single possible step of behavior that might be necessary for that.
Yeah.
And so all of those task analyses are already there, and you can download them in, I don't know if it's a PDF or a Word document, and then you can customize it to make it work just for your child. You can make it more complicated or simpler. But yeah, it's a great place to start.
It's brilliant. And wait until, I'm so excited for you, because when you watch the video on chaining, like a whole bunch of things is going to make sense to you, and you're going to be excited and empowered.